Okay, so I just wanted to talk and bring something up that is kind of upsetting me. Most of the time I try to stay on a positive note and all that, but yeah. Okay, so one thing I think a lot of us can agree on, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of us that listen to true crime, we are we want to be able to solve these cases. We're interested in them, and if we could help, we would love to. Right? And I think most of us think that we are doing so by sharing people's stories and all that. Oh, hey, baby, I love you. Okay. So I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because it's making it very hard for families to come out and actually talk to me and other people that actually want to do good here. And frankly, it's pissing me off. Okay. And let me just get down to it. Let's just do this. True Crime Obsessed. They are a podcast that talks about documentaries, and then they add in their own flair of what they think happened. Okay, that's fine. That's fair. But when you have someone like Erin Knabel with Andrea Knabel's case where her sister went missing, and she is so willing to talk to anyone that will listen, that you don't even bother to ask, hey, Erin, is anything that was said in this documentary true? Or is there anything that they left out that you would like to comment on? The fact that they didn't even do that, and then they also said that, "Oh, hey, listen to Erin talk to us about this." And then come to find out, Erin's never talked to them, but they used her voice in what was this documentary, but they were acting like she was talking to them. That pisses me off. Okay, I understand there are some good documentaries out there, and there are some good, legit people that want to help. I'm not talking about those. I am talking about these people in general. They did a shitty job with her documentary. They jump cut a lot of it, and you can actually tell, you're like, oh wow, that piece is missing. And it's not because they didn't tell these producers, it's because the producers left them out. And then they also added their own flair to it to make it more interesting. That pisses me off. Okay. Andrea Knabel's case is so much more boring than what the documentary made it out to be. It's true. It's so much more boring. And it pisses me off that you guys at True Crime Obsessed decided to say that her family hates her. Hold on. You sit there and you say her family hates her when that is not true. Okay? Her family loves her. Her family looks out for her. Her family is there for her. And you just decide that you're going to sit here and say all this nasty ass shit to her about her and her family. That's not cool, okay? Did her and her sister get in a fight that night? Yeah. Do siblings fight sometimes? Again, yes. Okay. I I took notes on what True Crime Obsessed got wrong. Okay? And if I get anything wrong, Erin, please correct me. I have tried to reach out to I've already interviewed Erin once, but I reached out to her again while I was writing these things up, and I was like, is this correct? Is this correct from your point of view?" Again, it is from their point of view. We still don't know what was going through Andrea's mind at that time. So, True Crime Obsessed said that she was a PI working for Missing in America. Okay, this is not true. She has never been a PI. She does not have a PI license. She did not work for Missing in America. She volunteered occasionally, but this was not her full-time job. She did not get paid, and she just volunteered her time occasionally. Okay, they make it sound like, oh, she's a PI and she's working for them and like she's doing this all the time. No, this was occasionally. They also said the group has a 96% rate of finding people. I can't find anywhere that proves this is true or not true. I don't know. I can't say that. So, True Crime Obsessed also says, and I quote, and I'm not putting their voice in here because it is a Patreon and I don't want to be in legal repercussions. One of the women who was found missing, a missing person in 4 days flat, is now missing. So they're saying that Andrea found a person that was missing in 4 days flat and now she's missing. Again, they didn't say who this woman is or anything like that. They flat out say, oh, this one person was missing for 4 days and she helped find her. And now she's missing herself. Guess what? I can't find any information saying who this person that was missing for 4 days was missing or found by Andrea. There's no evidence of this. Okay, here we go. Nancy says Andrea is her best friend. Okay, she might have been to Nancy. That is a possibility. Like she could have been, Nancy could have thought that she was her best friend. But according to Erin, Andrea was just so kind-hearted. Like she was friends with everyone. And she didn't look at you for the things that you did. She looked at you as a person, as a real person, a caring, trusting person. She didn't care what you did in your past. She didn't care what you were doing right now. She looked at you as a real person with thoughts and feelings and was a genuine, just good person who was a good friend to everyone. Okay. Also, Andrea does have 2 sons with 2 separate fathers. Both the boys were with their dads at the time she went missing, and both of them have been cleared as suspects, okay? So I just want to put that out there. I also want to put out there that Andrea had just fell on hard times lately. She got laid off from her job. I believe her car was broken down. So she didn't have anywhere to live to. And her dad's of her kids as of right now until she could get her shit together, like, was taking care of her kids. Okay. And because she is the person that she is, she makes friends with everyone. She's also a social butterfly and likes to have people around. So she would have people in and out of her own home quite frequently. With that being said, with her living with her mom didn't want people that she didn't know, rightfully so, in her home. And she didn't trust that when her mom was at work, that Andrea wouldn't just bring home random people. So that is why she didn't have a key. It wasn't because her family hated her, like True Crime Obsessed said. Oh, her family hates her and just doesn't want her to have a key to the house. No, that's not it. She just didn't want random people in her house and felt like she couldn't trust. She's like, you're more than welcome to be here, but I don't like having random strangers in my home. And this has happened before. This is a privilege that, she had given Andrea in the first place. And then she started bringing random strangers home. And the thing is she's so friendly with everyone. Some of the people are good-hearted, kind people. And some of them, not so much. But again, Andrea just saw a person. Okay. There are rumors. And True Crime Obsessed also says that she was on meth. This, to her family's knowledge, is not true. There was no track marks on her arms. There was nothing to indicate that. Yes, she did have patches on her face, but that is because she had eczema, not because she was on meth. They do, however, speculate, and it hasn't been proven, but they do speculate that maybe she was addicted to Adderall. And here's the thing. Was she just trying to self-medicate herself? And maybe she really did have, like, ADHD or something like that? Or was she still trying to, like, self-medicate herself in a negative way? And that's one thing we won't know. But, I mean, obviously, she had gone through a tough time. I can tell you that I went into a spiral of depression when, like, I was let go from my job. That was hard. It took me a little bit to bounce back. And then, I mean, she had all these things just, like, happen at once. I'm sure all of you have had just one thing after another, bum, 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 hit you, and it feels like it's never gonna stop. So, True Crime Obsessed also states that Sarah and Ethan were living at Sarah's mom's house the whole time they were remodeling it. Um, and that they've been living there for quite a while. And then right after Andrea disappears, they decide that they're going to go ahead and buy a home in Louisville. This is simply not true again. They already lived in Louisville. It's just about an hour away from Sarah's mom's house. So while Sarah's mom was renovating the home and Sarah and Ethan were helping renovate the home, they were living there just so that they could knock it all out and not have to travel an hour there and an hour back every single day that they were doing renovations. Okay. They did not move there after because they were hiding or anything like that, True Crime Obsessed. That's not how that was. They also said they had no idea why Andrea was staying at her mom's house. This okay, you know what? This is on you. True Crime Obsessed. This is on you. Because if you just ask Aaron or Mike, which is her dad, they are so open and honest and willing to talk about Andrea's case that you would know why. She was having some personal issues at the time. They suspected that she might have been doing Adderall. They don't know for sure. And they knew, she was in a depressive state. I mean, and they gave her that time to, get back on her feet and everything. And now they were having this conversation, and apparently it got heated. But it got heated, but it was more of a look, tough love sort of thing. You need to figure something out. We need to, find you a job and, a new place to live, and that way, you can be a good parent to your boys and have them come stay with you again instead of right now staying with their dad. Okay. So and yes, she was staying at her mom's. Again, though, the reason why she didn't have a house key is because she was bringing people by her home, her mom's home, that her mom didn't know. And she didn't want like random people in the house. Completely understandable, especially if you have, if you suspect someone of doing drugs as well. Okay. True Crime Obsessed also said that they talked to Erin. This is not true. In a clip, they said that they talked to her. They did not speak with her directly. That was a clip that was actually from the documentary. They also imply that Erin is just saying she wishes she could go back and change anything that night. And then True Crime Obsessed says, "You're lying. Just be honest with us. Like, you don't really care about her. You hate her." How fucking disrespectful are you that you can say that? I feel good about that. Are you serious right now? I've got a question for you, True Crime Obsessed. How can you say that someone is lying about wishing that their loved one would come home when you haven't even talked to them, when they're willing to talk to you and express what really happened? Not only do you parade around and make it seem like she doesn't care about her sister's disappearance, you don't even contact her. I have messaged you personally. I have emailed you. I have tagged you in things. You won't say a damn thing. How fucking dare you? You have no idea what Erin has gone through. Seriously? You should be ashamed of yourselves. And thank you so much for blocking me on Facebook and Patreon. I absolutely love the fact that instead of being an adult and saying, "Hey, I fucked up. Maybe I should go back and talk to Erin and get her side and retract this," I'm just going to block the person that's calling me out. Okay? Yes, I'm a little heated. I'm heated because this makes my job very, very hard. I try to do interviews with people that have had missing persons and actually get the real information so that we can find them. And I'm so fucking sorry that it's a lot more boring than what you expected. But guess what? At least I can sleep at night and knowing that at least I'm trying. Okay. Another thing the True Crime Obsessed says, they said that Sarah and Ethan were the only ones that got interviewed twice, and said that Mike, her dad, wouldn't answer to why they only interviewed twice. They said Mike hates Ethan and Sarah, and they just all hate each other. And then he also said Ethan and Sarah bailed. Basically, they moved away so that they don't have to be questioned anymore and moved to Lexington, Kentucky. They also mentioned that the whole family must hate Andrea, and that's why she doesn't have a key to the house. Again, I've been through this. It's not true. Sarah and Ethan went to Louisville because they freaking lived there. I'm sorry, they didn't move from to Lexington. They moved to Louisville. They lived there. That's why they went back there. They were only up at her mom's house because they were helping Sarah's parents renovate the home. The reason Andrea didn't have a key is because she had random people showing up at her mom's house, and she didn't want those random people in her house. And she was possibly doing Adderall that she wasn't prescribed to. Which Adderall, again, that can be great for someone like me that has ADHD and needs it to hyper focus, like on shit I don't want to do. But for someone who's neurotypical, yeah, it can mess you up. And I don't know what her mental state is. Maybe she does have ADHD. Maybe it was actually like helping her. I don't know. I don't know. Only she knows. Only Andrea knows. I can honestly say though that you know what, this is her mom's right. It's her home. If she doesn't want random people in her home, then she shouldn't have random people in her home. And if Andrea can't respect that enough to be trusted with a key, then yeah, she can stay there. She just can't have a key because she's going to bring random people in. Makes sense. I can honestly say I wouldn't want random people in my house either. So True Crime also says that Suzette's car was seen crossing the bridge at the same time that Andrea went missing. This is also untrue. Suzette's toll statement showed that it was going across the bridge. It was like around 3:16. And this was PM, not AM. True Crime Obsessed also said that Sarah hated Andrea and Sarah was mad at her dad for spending time looking for Andrea and not being there for her. And her mom is nowhere to be found. Again, True Crime Obsessed, you're wrong. Sarah does not hate Andrea, and her dad loves all of his daughters. He's just grieving in a different way. His way of grieving, his and Aaron's way, are talking about this and getting it out there. That's their way of grieving. And I can understand also that Sarah could be upset and like, you don't even like speak to me anymore. I can see that. Like I can see both sides of this. But it's not that you freaking said Sarah hated Andrea. That's not true. And when it comes to her mom, like some people just don't want to be in the spotlight when it comes to these things. And it's okay for her mom not to have to talk about this. Why are you dogging on her mom for not wanting to talk about this? True Crime Obsessed, you also stated that Andrea was a different person with different people and that she just was a chameleon and was something about her and they just don't know what was wrong with her. Seriously? I want to scream at you guys right now. Like, seriously, if you can't even have the decency just to even talk to Aaron, you would know that Andrea was just struggling. And she's not a chameleon. Okay, yes, they have pictures of her with some like being skinnier and having some weight and not makeup and makeup on. Can you honestly say that you look the exact same when you've gained weight and lost weight? When you have makeup on and you don't? When you have this color of hair versus this? Or do you say that you look a little different? Maybe a little better in some, maybe not. She's not a chameleon. They just took pictures from different parts of her life to be like, hey, look, this is her as when she was this big. This is her as, maybe a little bit bigger. This is her with short hair. This is her with long hair. People look different when they have a different style on. They're just trying to get all the pictures and information out there so that you know. True Crime Obsessed also said that Andrea's case is connected with another one that was a big case. This is not true. Okay. Missing in America was dealing with this one case, looking into a missing persons account. That was a bigger case. And once they found out that it was a little bit more dangerous, they pulled out. Andrea never worked on that case. There is no proof that she worked on that case. True Crime Obsessed also implies that Tracy burnt down his own building and that Andrea's case files were in it. And Aaron said that Andrea said that Sarah hit her. Okay. Okay. True Crime Obsessed implies that Tracy burns down his own building and Andrea's case files in it. Why would he do that? He spent years working on this case, and you're going to tell me, and I get it. People are like, well, why didn't you just back it up? He's old-fashioned. He keeps everything written down. I'm sure you guys know people like that just refuse to use technology as much as they could, He didn't burn down his own freaking building. If I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, but I believe it was an electrical fire. So they also said that the fact that okay. Sorry. I lost my spot. They also said that the fact that Andrea didn't have a key to the house means that her family didn't want her there. And she said that Aaron said that Andrea said that Sarah hit her. Okay. Aaron stated to me, she said, I don't know. I don't know if she hit her or not. I wasn't there. That's it. I don't freaking know. And again, just because she doesn't have the key to the house doesn't mean that they didn't want her there and doesn't mean that they freaking hate her. Please stop saying that. True Crime Obsessed also says that Aaron is being suspicious and not giving them everything. And Andrea was a black sheep and being ganged up on. There is a difference between tough love and hating on someone. Okay? They have already spent a lot of time, money, effort to help her. She's got to want to help herself. And I know the kind nature of Erin, and I know that she wanted to, but she also knew about that she just got into this new home. And if you listen to my interview, it's something about, I can't remember exactly, but that essentially the neighbors can decide that you don't live there anymore. They have like kind of like a voting system where they can decide that you don't live there anymore. They can literally like vote you out. And she couldn't have her sister there causing drama, having people over there that she didn't know. She had to work the next morning. She has 2 kids. And plus there was rumors around about her potentially, doing Adderall and stuff, like prescribed Adderall and stuff. So, yeah. She had her reasons to say no. And I know she felt guilty about doing it at that time. And I know she still feels guilty now about it. But she watched her from the window when she told her no. She's like, it's probably just best if you go back to mom's house. And she offered to give her a ride, and she got defensive and said no. She said, I'd just walk. She's walked before. It's not anything new. She's done this walk plenty of times. And Erin watched from the window as she was on her phone. It sounds like she was like texting someone or something. And she walks away. Erin even says in that interview I did with her, if she was just there for another few minutes, I would have probably been like, okay, come in. She's like, but I was tired. I needed to go to bed. I have kids in the morning I have to take care of. I have to look out for myself now too. And I also offered what I could to her. And True Crime Obsessed also says that they changed the lock to keep Andrea, which isn't true. They weren't trying to keep her out to make sure that she couldn't get into the house. Like, no, that's not true. And apparently, Andrea's ex-boyfriend's girlfriend states that Andrea took over her ex-boyfriend's meth business. And then she says that Sarah and Andrea got into a fist fight the night before she went missing. And she's also claiming that Andrea and her were friends. But I don't know how much this is true. People also like to insert themselves in these type of situations. Again, though, it sounds like Andrea was very nice to everyone. So could she have been friendly to her ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend? Yeah, possibly. Did she take over his meth business? I don't know. I personally don't think so. From what I've seen and researched, I don't think she was doing meth. If anything, it might have been Adderall, but they're not the same. Despite what y'all might think, they're not the same. They might have some of the same tendencies, but they're not. They're not. Also, they mention about her picking at her face and having sores all over her face. Again, the interview that I did with Erin explains this as well. And they're like, "Oh, well, she must have been on meth because she was just picking at her face, must thought there were bugs on there." No. Both Andrea and Erin and myself suffer from what's called eczema. They, however, are lucky enough to get it on their faces. I'm not so lucky. I only get it on like my elbows, my legs, my butt. So, yeah. So that's been debunked because they're like, oh, well, she went in and got like some cream to go over her face and was freaking out. Yeah, because guess what? If you have like all these breakouts on your face and it's eczema, not even just breakouts, but eczema, yeah, you're going to want to get something to make sure that, like it goes away and your face looks nice. I don't know. I mean, maybe you don't. Maybe you're totally accepted that you have eczema on your face and you just own it. Then go you. But I think I would be a little self-conscious. That's just me. I don't know. What do you think? True Crime Obsessed also says that Andrea was using counterfeit money. And what they're doing is they're talking about the storage unit. The storage unit had Andrea's stuff in it, as well, though, as some of her ex-roommates. Things in there were, as well. So it's not just her stuff. Okay. And Andrea's ex-roommate used to do some film production. So this really fake looking $100 bill is money that they used in films. But True Crime Obsessed is like, oh my God, she's making counterfeit money. And they found a printer. Like, okay, I have a printer. Actually, I think I even still have a dead printer that doesn't work in my closet, as well as the one that does work. And you know what? I have Monopoly money as well. So does that mean that I'm also doing counterfeit money? Oh my God, are you doing counterfeit money? Oh my God. Guys, don't tell anyone, but I think we all have counterfeit money. True Crime Obsessed also said that Andrea had several different Facebook pages. What they don't say is a lot of those Facebook pages were made after she went missing, not before. And the only page that she had before she went missing has now been disabled. And actually, guys, like Erin has been contacting Facebook and trying to get it re-enabled. And if you'd like, you can sign the change.org that I have up there to, help her get her sister's Facebook page up. I don't think that there is anything. There is something for the deceased, but there's not anything for if you go missing to, for people to be able to preserve that. And I don't think that's right. I don't think that they should be able to just disable it whenever they want. Like, this is your family member. And no, you're not like deceased. You're just missing. And so, like, your family should be able to have some type of, control, or at least be able to see it. Okay. Here's two more things here. True Crime Obsessed also said that Andrea was sleeping with Ethan. I can't prove this, but neither can you. So please stop. And then again with the meth. You're saying that she's doing meth again. Okay. There's no track marks on her arms that her family has noticed. She might be doing Adderall. That's what they think. They're not 100% sure. So if they don't even know, where the fuck do you get off saying that she was doing meth? Excuse me? True crime obsessed. I get it. You just look at the documentaries and then you go based off of that and then you put your own 2 cents into it. But you also said that you want to help find Andrea. Okay, this is not helping. This is making things worse for the family. They're having to re-explain all the blatant lies that you're telling and saying, none of that is true. Here's the truth. And the fact is that Erin is so open and willing to talk. And then you not only blatantly lie and say that you talked to her, but you've never reached out to her in the beginning and never gotten her 2 cents is utterly disgusting. Okay? I get it. You're not an interview podcast, but you could at least contact her and be like, "Hey, I'm going to do a I'm watching this documentary. I'm going to do an episode on it. Is there anything that you would like me to put your input in on?" Why is that so fucking hard? Why? You're the reason why these cases are not being found. Okay? Not the main reason, okay? But this is not helping. This is actually like destroying their chances of finding her and bringing her home with all this bullshit. I didn't even mention the fucking cartel that you brought up. Oh, there you go. Yeah, because she was never in the cartel, okay? And honestly, if she was, then why the hell would you be sitting there prancing that around? Oh, yeah, because guess what? You know damn well the cartel, if she was involved, her family would have been hit already. Just saying. Then they don't take nicely to that shit. Okay. Yeah. My main reason to get on and talk about this shit is because this is bullshit. Okay. It's bullshit. It's fucked up that people like you and people like those goddamn producers that did that shitty ass documentary, like jump cut what she was saying and instead put out blatant lies about her. For media purposes. I even had, not in Andrea's case, but I even had someone else take a look at a book that I'm writing on one of the missing people. And the producer told me, we need this, this, and this. We need to cut those out and spice them up. I'm like, no. That's not what happened. That's not what they're accounting for. I'm not putting that bullshit in there to get a hype. Fuck that. I'm not putting fake shit into that. Do I have my own theories and shit of what happened to people? Absolutely. Do I think it's okay to get ideas going? Yes. But you need to do it in a respectful way. You need to contact the family and ask them what they freaking think. That's it. Ask them what they freaking think happened. True Crime Obsessed, you owe Andrea Knabel's family an apology. And I hope in the future that you would do the right thing and try to at least like reach out to the family and see what they have to say about it. Because sadly enough, not all documentaries are the whole truth. That's all I gotta say. I hope that you can do better. And if you truly wanted to help Andrea, and this is for you, True Crime Obsessed, if you really wanted to help her like you said you did, you'd do the right thing. You'd contact her family, apologize, retract what you said, and get a real statement. All right. Hey guys, that's all I have to say. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, wherever you're at. And as always, just keep fucking going. Because man, it's a ride.